Here's an interesting little factoid that I just learned on Monday, and that is that there are only two companies on the entire planet, that manufacture 100% of the cotton swabs that are used as part of the testing for COVID-19. One of those companies happens to be a company by the name of Puritan Medical Products out of Maine, right here in the United States. They are one of two companies that makes these cotton swabs. And you can't actually do the coronavirus testing without these cotton swabs. Well, on Friday, Donald Trump decided he was going to go take a tour of the facilities, right? He wanted to see what this was all about. Let's see how the sausage is made. Show me them cotton swabs. Except he didn't wear a mask or gloves or goggles or any kind of PPE. Didn't have on, the smock. Didn't have coverings over his shoes. He had nothing. He just went in there in his regular ill-fitting suit and contaminated an entire stock of these cotton swabs that now, according to the company, have had to be destroyed and disposed of because Donald Trump refused to wear the PPE, specifically the mask. Because he was in the production facility, every cotton swab that was there on the assembly line or in a box uncovered while Trump was there has now been destroyed, putting the United States further behind once again on being able to test people for coronavirus. And it's all because of this man's narcissism. Now, for what it's worth, as I mentioned, every other person on this tour had the mask, they had goggles, they had the coverings, the little smocks, they had coverings on their shoes. They were dressed to the nines in personal protective equipment like they were supposed to be. So they didn't contaminate the equipment that is meant to find out if you have the virus. Because God forbid we contaminate an entire stock of cotton swabs that then get shoved in people's nasal cavities, giving them the virus. Trump didn't care. Because as he has repeatedly said, he doesn't want to give the media, the press, the satisfaction of seeing him wearing a mask. Because somehow he thinks that's weak. Now, let me tell you what's weak. What's weak is coming across as a complete and total idiot, coming across as a child who doesn't know any better when you're supposed to be the leader of the free world, right? I mean, we still consider ourselves that sometimes, aren't we? Even though we're clearly not. This is what narcissism does. It has already been determined that because the president waited so long to use the Defense Production Act to get more cotton swabs produced, that is why our testing is so far behind everybody else. That's not going to change. And it's certainly not going to change if this moron goes out there and continues to contaminate the testing supplies. I know he loves a good photo op, but his photo ops over the past week are seriously injuring people, and they're injuring our ability as a country to respond to crises. It's beyond time for this man to go away. His very presence at this point is putting people in harm's way. This has to stop. And the only way we can stop it is by voting this crazy person out of the White House in November. We don't do that. Get ready for 4 more years of just full-blown insanity because the president is too narcissistic and overall too mentally unstable to have any clue how to protect the American public.